Hey guys, Blue Bear Crypto here. Just bringing you another video. I thought today I'd talk about the secret trick to pay less electricity. So after the Ethereum merge, obviously prices started going up with like the war in Ukraine and things like that, and it was just not feasible to mine anymore. It was we were going past like 30p a kilowatt. That's Great British pounds. It was just no point. You were probably getting half the value of a coin for what you're paying in electricity. So yeah, I didn't know what to do. So the rigs just went off for a bit, and a little bit late down the line, I thought I think it's time to get solar and a battery. I wasn't going to get battery at first. I just went with solar just for cheaper electric, just to keep the cost down anyway. I wasn't really thinking about crypto at the time, but it turned out to be a bit of a blessing in disguise. So I got solar installed, and it was covering my electricity costs. It can do I've got 9 panels, and they can output 3.6 kilowatt for the house, so it can cover 3.6 kilowatt of constant use, or charging the battery, which we'll get to. But so got the solar, was happy with that. Meant that on a nice sunny day I could actually get the rigs back on. But it would mean the second that the sun went down, I was paying for electricity at that stupid rate again, of probably 0.3p a kilowatt. So the next thing that I decided to do was get a battery, which meant that I could charge the battery on a specific tariff. I think with Octopus originally I went with Flux, where you charge it, and I think you pay, I think it's 15p a kilowatt on the low hours. So I think you get 3 hours. Yeah, at the moment the day rate is 14.26p a kilowatt, and then so that would be when you charge your battery, if you did have one. And also you can obviously use whatever electricity you're using in that time at that cheaper rate. The peak rate, which is what you want to avoid using, is 33.28p per kilowatt. And then the rest of the day is 23.77p a kilowatt. So if you were still using that day rate, that's still quite a lot. Still, you're not going to get any profit if you're doing any sort of mining. I first change to this when I got my battery installed, was absolutely buzzing that I had access to 14.26. I think it was about 15p when I first got on it, so I think it was 15p on the dot. So yeah, I was over the moon. I was, after the time that I've had my house, of having the charges of 30p a kilowatt, and just having to put up with it, and it was going up and up and up. I couldn't mine anymore because there was just really no point. Yeah, I was super excited, and then I found something else as well. I found Octopus Agile, so which is what I'm showing you now. I've got an app called Octopus Compare, where it basically takes your API data, which is pretty cool. I didn't think that an energy company would give you access to this kind of stuff, but they do, and it helps you save a ton of money. So we'll just go over the month, because at the moment there's not much wind in the UK. Most of our renewable electricity comes from wind, so if there's a thunderstorm or anything, or those they're just storms, aren't they? They just give them names like through the alphabet. If we get one of those coming through, you get the live rate for the next day. So at the moment for today, it's quite expensive from what it has been previously. So every half an hour I get a set rate. Say for example between now and 2 o'clock, so I've got 5 more minutes. Whatever I use will be at 13.09p a kilowatt, and obviously you got your peak time, so that's when they spin up the turbines and get the coal stations running, and all the other electricity which isn't as renewable, just to sustain the peak times for everyone coming home. So at the moment my rig, my 3070 Ti Octominer rig, and my 6600 XTs with the 3060 Ti, they currently use approximately about 3 kilowatt, which is all right. It's obviously it's not a lot of power compared to I'd class myself as a very small crypto miner, so we will be building it up, but at the moment it is actually quite a nice amount of power to use, because it means that when I hit the peak period times between 4 and 7, it means that I don't the battery can cover those 3 hours. So I charge my battery up to full, and because it outputs 3.6 kilowatts, I can cover all of the usage at the moment for the whole house, basically, unless I turn like something on, like the microwave or dishwasher or whatever. But yeah, so I can avoid the high charges with what I've got at the moment, and it also means that I can charge the battery at the low rates, and yeah, I'll never have to pay the higher fee. So it definitely brings the overall cost down, and that is the secret on how to mine profitably in the UK. Like I said, I had no expectation of mining again apart from when the sun was out, but yeah, it's possible. These rates that we've got today, they are probably the highest that it's been in the past few months, and it can be like this at times because there's no wind, there's not much sun, and yeah, it's just how it is. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. It's been really good this winter. We've had lots of wind, and yeah, I'm not too sure why, but it's just been amazing. There's been days where I've paid for a whole afternoon. I haven't paid. It's been zero. I'll put some screenshots of, because obviously when you don't have to pay for electricity, you just want to tell the world you're not paying electricity. You've gone from paying 0.3 kilowatt, so 0.3p per kilowatt, to nothing. And then it gets even better when there is a storm and we've got all these wind turbines around the UK powering the UK, and off peak times, there's too much power. There's nowhere for it to go. So the grid actually pays the energy providers to get rid of this power, and on the agile rate, which is basically the live rate of what the grid is charging the suppliers, we get probably like a slightly inflated version of what they have to pay, which is why this is such a good rate. But yeah, there's times when you get paid. So throughout winter, in like January, February, there was times where I was getting paid, I can't remember, probably like 0.0 of a p to mine, or it can go up to, I think it went up to 8p a kilowatt at one time, which obviously you're not going to become a millionaire doing on those kind of rates, but to go from that set rate to then being paid, and then also to be paid to mine crypto. So you're obviously getting the coin, and you're getting your value out of that, and then to also just get paid live through like fiat as well on top. It's just like I was so excited. I had no one to talk about it to apart from my partner, and turns out that girls don't really care about not paying for electricity for half an hour. So I need to find someone else. So that's pretty much the entire reason this channel's been started. I just want to talk about how we can all save an absolute ton of money and mine at the same time. But I don't know any people mining in the UK at the moment, because it doesn't make sense unless you can find a strategy like this where you're using the cheaper electricity, but then you're also using solar, and then you're managing your battery to cover, basically give yourself the lowest average cost per day. Yeah, but I think people find that a little bit boring, which I don't, because you're getting money in different ways, basically. So that's pretty much it. The things that I've learned from the solar and battery setup that I've got. So I've got the 3.6 kilowatt output on my battery. I've got a 9.2 kilowatt battery, which is small. It's too small for what I'm doing. I knew that was going to be the case. I knew whatever battery I got, I'd want a bigger one. So I've started at this one. I'm learning, and I will probably upgrade it in the future. It's probably, if I go all in, it's probably going to end up being the Tesla Powerwalls, because they can output something like, I think it's like 8-9 kilowatt, like live. That's just an insane amount of power. That's basically what my electric shower uses, and that uses like 10 kilowatt almost. So, and you can stack those. I think you can get 3 of them. I can't remember what the total capacity of them is, but yeah, something like that. That's probably going to be what the next battery is going to be. But for now, this my setup that I've got, this covers the expensive rates, and it also means I can charge it when the rates are cheaper. And yeah, it's so what I did learn is you want a battery that can provide the power live. So you can get a massive capacity battery if you wanted to. You could get I don't even know what. I don't think they go past 20 kilowatt usually, unless you get in some industrial machine. But yeah, if you have a big capacity but the output is small, like your 3.6 kilowatt, then you will only be able to use that 3.6 kilowatt live. So if you are slowly building up your rigs, which is what my plan is at the moment, it means that you're bottlenecked. Essentially, you're not going to be able to have the battery cover the power when you need it to. So that's a hurdle that I need to get over sometime in the future. If you are someone that is mining crypto just for the fun of it, and let's be honest, a lot of us are probably mining at a loss if we're not in the US or Canada or wherever we get our cheap or free electricity. Definitely get on this. I'll leave a link to a referral if anyone wants to join Octopus, because I've got nothing bad to say about them. That they've given me access to cheaper electricity, and yeah, there's even when before I had the rigs on, then you can buy. There's times when the rigs weren't on where I charged my battery for profit. So it was at like these, they call them plunge periods. So you charge your battery for, I don't know, like 5p kilowatt, which obviously isn't a lot, but and then to sell it back to the grid at 28p a kilowatt or 25 at the moment. Oh, it's gone down a bit. To sell at the moment on Flux, it's 23.95p a kilowatt. It used to be higher, but you could charge your battery, get paid for it, and then sell it back to the grid for like loads more. It's just a good way to make money. With solar panels and batteries, I think people just think, how can I pay back the solar and the battery, and how quick can I do it? But now you can literally make money on it. You don't even need to mine. You can charge your battery, make sure that it covers your house use for the day if you want it to. Whatever you've got spare, you can just export it at peak times. And the way that I was doing it before the rigs were on, I could almost break even every single day, and that was on like a bad day. So there's loads to be said for the batteries and solar panels now. I'd fully recommend it. I think now is a better time than ever to get solar if you are wanting to get that money back as quick as possible. I didn't even know about the tariffs that you can change to. So I'm with Octopus, so I know that we've got Agile. There's one for if you have cars as well. I can't remember what that one's called, but you basically get, I think, like 6 or 7 hours in off-peak times to charge your battery at an even lower rate, because obviously that's when you charge your car. This is something I'd fully recommend. It just gives us a chance to get back into it, which is all I want at the end of the day. I've got like my little hobby of messing around with my rigs and my ASICs, and it means that I can do what I enjoy again. So if doing this is something that means that you guys can enjoy it again, then just go for it. I've not looked back. We've got summer coming up now. Just from previous history, the agile rates do seem to go up. So the amazing rates that I'll put on the screen, they don't last forever. You get days where you pay in next to nothing, or you're getting paid to use electricity. But then obviously you've got days where there's a lot more demand for what the UK is producing. So it's an average. You're still paying less on average. So you have to take the good with the bad. But yeah, that's about it. Any questions, drop a comment, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.